Every reaction you give away is power you'll never get back. You answered people who didn't matter and lost energy that did. Today is where that stops. Today, you take control again. The first shift is simple. Your attention is your currency. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves your time. When someone disrespects you, your silence is the response. Because reacting feeds them, but ignoring starves them. People expect you to reply. They depend on your reaction. So when you don't respond, you break their entire pattern. Silence makes them question everything, while you stay completely unbothered. Now you move differently. You don't chase, you choose. You show up when it matters and disappear when it doesn't. Scarcity creates value, and your presence becomes rare. Think about it like this. Availability kills attraction. When you're always there, you become easy to replace. But when you pull back strategically, you become impossible to ignore. People start checking their phones, waiting for your next move. You're no longer predictable, and that makes you powerful. Now comes the hardest truth. Not everyone deserves to stay. Some people drain your energy without giving anything back. Others pretend to support you while secretly holding you down. And some just criticize everything because they create nothing. You don't argue with these people, you remove them completely. No drama, no announcement, just distance and silence, because your peace matters more than proving anything to anyone. Now you build something stronger, emotional control, that no one can break. When someone insults you, it no longer touches you. When they misunderstand you, you don't rush to explain, because their opinion isn't truth and your value isn't negotiable. You stop reacting emotionally and start responding strategically. That's when people lose control over you, because they can't predict you anymore. And finally, the most powerful move is doing absolutely nothing. Not every battle needs your presence. Some fights aren't worth entering. While others waste energy reacting, you stay focused and keep building. You let time expose the truth, and success becomes your answer. Because real power isn't loud, it's quiet, controlled, and intentional. So from this moment forward, you protect your energy at all costs. You don't explain yourself. You don't react unnecessarily. You choose who gets access and who gets ignored completely. And slowly, everything changes. People start treating you differently. Because when you control your attention, you control your entire life. You stop proving your worth and start living like it's already known. People sense that shift instantly, even if they don't understand it. Because confidence without explanation feels different than forced validation. You're no longer trying to impress. You're simply existing at a higher level. And that unsettles weak minds, because they can't control you anymore. They'll try to provoke you, just to pull you back into old habits. But you stay calm and detached, because you've outgrown the reaction game. You've realized something powerful. Not everything deserves your energy. Some conversations lead nowhere. Some people never change. So instead of forcing outcomes, you step back and observe. Observation gives you clarity, while reaction clouds your judgment. You begin to see patterns clearly: who respects you and who doesn't, who adds value to your life and who quietly drains it. And once you see it, you can't unsee it anymore. That's when your circle changes and your standards rise automatically. You no longer tolerate nonsense just to keep people around, because being alone in peace is better than being surrounded by chaos. And here's the truth: most ignore respect comes from boundaries, not from over-explaining yourself or constantly being available. When people realize you're selective, they start valuing your time more because what's limited feels important and what's rare feels powerful. So you speak less, but every word carries weight. You move less, but every move creates impact. You become harder to read and impossible to manipulate because your emotions are yours now, not controlled by others. And slowly, something interesting happens. People start chasing your attention. Not because you asked them to, but because you stopped giving it freely. Your silence becomes noticeable, your absence becomes loud, and suddenly, you're the one setting the tone. Not by force or aggression, but by control and restraint. You're no longer reacting to life, you're directing it. And that's the real transformation, from reactive to intentional, from available to selective, from emotional to strategic. Because in the end, power isn't about dominance, it's about discipline over your actions and reactions. So the next time you feel triggered, pause instead of reacting. The next time someone disrespects you, walk away instead of engaging. And the next time you feel the need to prove yourself to someone. Remember this clearly: the right people never needed proof. Stay silent when it's needed, step back when it's required, and watch how everything shifts without you forcing anything. Because real power is subtle, and true control is quiet. And once you master that, you don't just change your life, you change how the world responds to you. You start noticing something strange. The less you react, the more they watch. The less you explain yourself, the more they try to figure you out. Because mystery creates attention, and clarity removes curiosity. When people can't read you, they start creating stories about you, and those stories spread faster than anything you could ever say. So you let them talk while you stay focused on your path. You don't correct every rumor because truth doesn't need constant defense. Over time, reality speaks louder than any words you could have used, and the ones who doubted you quietly start changing their tone. But by then, it's too late. You've already moved on mentally. That's another level of power, outgrowing people without confrontation. You're not cutting them off loudly, you're just no longer available. No arguments, no closure, just distance and silence. Because closure is a luxury not everyone earns from you. Some people only get your absence and nothing more, and that absence teaches them lessons your words never could. Now your life becomes quieter, but your mind becomes clearer. You waste less time on drama and more time on growth. Your focus sharpens daily because distractions no longer control you. And with that focus, your results start multiplying. People notice your progress, but they don't see your discipline. They see the outcome, but not the boundaries you built. Because discipline looks invisible until it becomes success, and success attracts attention, even from those who ignored you. Suddenly they remember you, they reach out like nothing happened. But now you see clearly who was real and who wasn't. And this time, you don't fall for familiarity. You choose based on value, not based on history. Because just knowing someone long enough doesn't mean they deserve access. You've upgraded your mindset, so your standards had to rise too. And that's where most people fail. They grow, but keep the same circle. You didn't make that mistake. You evolved and adjusted everything. Now your environment matches your energy, and your circle reflects your mindset. No more chaos around you, no more unnecessary noise, just clarity, focus, and intentional living. And that's when life feels different. Not easier, but more controlled. Because you're no longer reacting blindly. You're choosing every move carefully. Every response is intentional. Every silence is strategic. You don't waste time anymore because you understand its value now. And once you see time as currency, you stop spending it on the wrong people. That's when everything aligns, your goals, your habits, your peace. You become harder to distract and impossible to derail because your priorities are locked in and your vision is clear. And at that point, nothing external can shake you. Not opinions, not criticism, not even temporary setbacks. Because your power is internal now, not dependent on anyone else. And that's the final evolution, complete control over yourself. Not controlling others, but mastering your own reactions. Because once you master that, no one else has power over you. And that's when you realize you were never weak. You were just giving too much to people who deserved nothing. Now that stops completely, and your life shifts permanently. You move in silence, you act with intention, and without saying a word, you become untouchable.